Hello everyone and welcome back to the next episode of our horror tutorial. Last episode we were in Blender and we were messing around with our mesh, our first room, and getting it ready to bring it into Unreal. It was a bit of a long episode, so hopefully we'll keep this one a little bit shorter, keep it to our usual 15 minutes. What we're going to do is now get our mesh into Unreal. So what I've done so far is, if you go back to my content, I've set up a little folder called My Assets, and I've set one up called Room 1. And then what you want to do is you want to find that FBX file you exported, wherever you saved it, and drag it into Unreal. And you'll be met with an options, which you probably can't see right now because it doesn't ping up on my Streamlabs, but you'll get an FBX imports options. It's just a little rectangle box, and it'll just have a load of information in there. It'll ask if it's like a skeletal mesh and things like that, which we'll go through at some point, but at the bottom it'll just say import all. Click on that and you should be good to go. You shouldn't need to make any changes, so we don't need to mess around getting it right for the stream, for the recording, sorry, this time round. So you may get a box that says no smoothing group information was found in the FBX file. Just close that down, it does not matter one little bit. And what are we going to do next? So let that load in. You'll probably have some shaders to compile, so just let that run until it gets to nothing. If you do anything while you're compiling shaders, the likelihood is it's going to crash because too much will be going on for Unreal and it won't know what's quite going on. And when you have the more shaders you have to compile, the worse it will get, trust me. So let's just click play while it's doing that, just to double check that everything's still okay. So when we look down, we see our body. We can look left and right and up and down. We can't look left and right. We can turn when we're looking down, but it's not like it feels like here. But we may change it so he actually rotates left and right when the time comes to be messing with that. And obviously we can sort of just walk along, which is great. This is a bit fast for me, if I'm honest, so I might look at slowing this down, and also putting in a sprint button too, but we'll see about that as well. So let's come back to our main thing, our main field of view. Let's just close it down a little bit, close that down a little bit. Now for this game, I'm also going to set up another folder called Levels. And what this is, this will be a sequence of levels which has a room in each level that we can kind of pull through to the next one. Okay, so let's click File, Save Current As. Let's go into Levels. We'll get rid of that. We'll call this Level 1. Or should we stick to the whole room thing? I kind of prefer that. Room 1. Room dash 1? Yeah, we'll call it Room dash 1. Great. Okay. Fantastic. So now I've saved it, you can see that the lighting's changed a great deal. And that's fine. What I also now want to do is delete the floor and delete this message that says third person. Delete that. And this spinning question mark, I don't know why they load that in. So this is room 1, or this is going to be room 1 by the time we're finished. Let's go back to My Assets. Now everything should be loaded in. Let's pull, oh god, that's very close to me. Pull this in. Now it doesn't matter where this goes. Let's just, it's going to be very hard to see. We're going to have to add some spotlights in or something. But let's just make it kind of central, right. The next thing I want to do is go to lights on the left hand side, bring out a point light for a second. There we go. Wow, those colours are very vibrant. Yeah, great. Let's illuminate that up a little bit just so we can see what I mean by the pillar effect. You just get this lovely, this great kind of spooky effect coming through. Now what I actually really want to do is I will be setting up a point light just outside this window, and I wanted to see how I could affect, but without that window facing the other way you really don't get much of a an effect coming through. You get a little bit there. You might get, oh, we didn't build a roof, did we? We could do that in here, it's fine. I just realised that. So you don't get really much of an effect, that's a shame. But I speak too soon. We'll leave, it's fine. Let's use this for now so we can build our area. Right. Okay. So we've got our character. Let's pop him up on our spawn point. This is going to be where the game begins for us, for our player. Let's turn him so he shows which way he's facing. You can actually see in this bottom right hand camera where he's actually facing, which is awesome. Really makes a difference when you're trying to place him and see what's going on. His feet are free, so now let's click play. And I fell through the floor. Of course I did. And the reason for that, I just realised all the things I'm remembering as we're going along. If you click on the mesh, because it's all one whole mesh, it'll make the effect for everything. But just double tap on your static mesh, and it'll bring up this. If you go to collision, there's actually no collision set up. So let's have a look at complex collision. Now, I think simple collision actually would work because we're spawning inside the room. Basically, if we had to go through that doorway, we'd have to have complex collision on because we wouldn't actually be able to go out of the bounds of the simple collision. I'm not going to mess around too much with simple or complex collision. All I'm going to do is just come down to, so on the right hand side you've got your details panel. It'll show you all your textures, it'll show you everything about this. But the only thing you need to touch at the moment is your collision complexity. Use complex collision as simple. Okay, and save that. Close it down. Don't worry about that for a second. Now if we click play, we should actually stay within our little room. Okay. Now this guy is definitely moving way too fast for my liking. You will be able to see outside that window just slightly, so we're not going to be able to have just the void of night. I mean, you might get a little bit away with it if there's a light there. It might look a bit different, but either way that should be fine. And then we've got a door, which we can't see at the moment because we've got no lights, no proper lights in here. Okay, great. Come out of that. Fantastic. That's working phenomenally. I am going to actually attach some materials. Let's see what we've got in our starter content. Let's go to materials. Now we want something that's going to look relatively good for a warehouse. Let's go for this to the outside. Oh god, that's very large. Wow. Just double click onto it. No, that was okay, these aren't material instances, are they? No. Interesting. Let's create a material instance and do that. Interesting. Okay, these materials are just god awful, hence why it's so big. Right. Interesting. They are starter content materials. Okay, I'll get some proper materials in for the next episode ready to go, and we can have a look at actually properly setting this up. So for now, let's do one last thing to set the mood of this room, because this point light is very bright. It's taking up a lot of the potential atmosphere we could have going in this. So let's get some proper stuff going. Right. So in our starter content we had where was it? We had props. Is it in this one? Yep, it's some ceiling lamps. Now if I was to drag this in like so, when we got our roof on it'll look a bit better, but if I was to make a couple of these and do like this and have a spotlight there, the problem we would find is we wouldn't be able to edit anything about it, so that light would just be like that forever, and you wouldn't be able to like set it on anything cool. Now I'd much prefer to set up lights where I can make the flicker, I can turn them on and off, or when you hit a trigger box all the lights go off in the scene, and you know, to kind of give you the sort of jump factors. So what we're going to do is delete both of those out. There's no point having those in at the moment. What we're going to do is we are going to not do any of that. Sorry. We'll keep it in this starter content props for now, but if you right click and you go to Blueprint class and create an actor. We'll call this ceiling lamp underscore blueprint. We'll load this up. Okay, so we met with a similar scene to our third person character. What we're going to do is come down to our components, which is down here. We're going to add in a static mesh first off, and we can actually go ahead and grab that static mesh now if you'd like to. Where is it? We want... it might be better just to search for it. It was lamp. Yeah, we got lamp ceiling. So SM underscore lamp underscore ceiling. Okay, and now it's going to be under the world in terms of where it's actually spawning. So let's bring it up just a little bit. There we go. And what we want to do is then add in is it a point light? No. What kind of light do we want? Sorry, we want a spotlight. Sorry, we want a spotlight. So again, add component. Oh, and we've got a crash. I'm pushing it too far. Clearly, let's and we're back. Okay. So where were we? So we were sorting out our scening now. Let's hope we don't get another crash. But I have saved it all now. So okay. What did we do? So we added a component. We'll do our static mesh, which we are going to put in the SM underscore lamp and ceiling, right? And we'll move that all the way back up to here again, just to create a bit of space. But it shouldn't matter too much because we can move it wherever. And then what we want to have is a spotlight, not a point light. There we go. And that's now attached to our static mesh, but we don't really want it there, if I'm honest. Now, we will probably have to play around a little bit with how bright everything is, or will be, because it's a bit hard to tell in these blueprints. So let's compile. Right, okay, so intensity set to 5,000. I'm thinking we set it to about 10,000. I think it should be a good. And we don't want it to be so wide, or we probably want to bring that down to about, I'd say, 500. Yeah, I do like to set up temperature, so click use temperature. I'm just going to make sure we are aligned again, because that would be really bad if we weren't. Back into the blueprint. Okay. I just realised you guys can't see the blueprint, can you? Apologies. This thing is a nightmare. See that back. Okay, right, there we go. You can now see. That's going to be a bit of a pain, isn't it? I have to remember to do that. Right, so what I've done, sorry, I'm just going to quickly show you again, is let's delete both these out. Let's delete all of this out just so I can re-show you. So add component, come down, static mesh, come over to where it says static mesh here, click on that, SM underscore, no, SM, not AM, and then just put in, it might be lamp ceiling, there we go. Drag that up. Okay, drag it up to about there. Add component. We want a spotlight. Again, it makes it look all weird, so just rotate downwards. Bring that below where the lamp actually is. Just make sure it should be about right. And as I said, set this to about, I'd say about 10,000 for now, just so we can actually see where the light is. And the radius I'd set to 500, just so you get a smaller cone. But I think that's even probably still too big, to be honest. But compile that anyway. That should be all we need to do for the moment for the ceiling light. And then all you need to do is, if we remove that point light now, because we don't really want that for the minute, is just drag in the point light. We'll probably drag in duplicate it and just we'll put 2 in for now. They are both very low, so need to go a bit higher. Let's see, that's probably where the roof's going to be. And as you can see, way too dark. So if you, on the right hand side with the lamp selected, you can select both. Actually, thinking about it, no you can't, sorry, I tell a lie. Click the one, click spotlight, and you can actually change the figures we changed inside the blueprint actually outside the blueprint. So 10,000 is clearly not enough, so let's make it 20,000. What's that? Oh, it's so hard to see with that blue. Let's click play. Oh god, that's just so dark. Okay. It also could be that the actual light itself is... No? Huh. I wondered if it was the fact that the spotlight was inside the light, and sometimes it does affect it, but apparently not. Let's change that to 20,000 as well. Also give that a temperature of 5,900. That's what I was also going to do, sorry, is if you click on each of the lights, click on use temperature, set it to about 5,900 is normally a good figure, but I think we're going to have to up the brightness on this. Wow, that's really not bright, is it? That's not 100,000. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Let's try and okay, that could be where our issue lies as well. So reset it down to 100,000, and it's just getting the right feel really now. Now I've just worked that out. Let's click on the light for this one and set that area cone as high as we can. Okay, so we've now got 2 very bright sources. Let's have a little play around with some of these figures. So you can set an area cone, which is obviously, like, if you really want to do that, I wouldn't suggest it. But I really want to kind of let's just play around with the one, and we can always duplicate it, to be fair, right? I don't really want any in the cone, I don't think, to be honest. Let's just set that to 0. There you go. Now you could lower the intensity, but make it okay. That could be good. Could be good. Okay. Delete that. Let's make another one. Okay. Now what you could also do extra that I haven't really touched upon is you could add in some extra bits and bobs, so like crates and stuff in here to make it feel a bit more like an actual proper warehouse. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to do that this episode. I could do that now. I'm doing it now. And then you've got the door, right? Okay, so, and you've got these cool, very sharp shadows now from where we put the lip in there. You can get back up here on the ramp. You could jump it as well. Okay, so you've got options. Right. Now the next thing I am going to sort out is that window, but I'm going to do that in the next episode, I believe, because we are way over again. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.